Yo, what's up everybody? This is Jeremy with Phat Airlines. So nice to see you all. So nice to be here with you all. How y'all doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I am having a great day so far. It just started, but no complaints here. Yeah, last weekend we were away. This weekend we're back. So thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Air Swiftpoint. Thanks for being here. Thank you for Dinju for being first on Twitch. We got Darius Pilot here as well. Flammy. We got Sembal Air. We got Matias here. We got who else? Ara. We have Brian Ho, who just left work. Nice. Mike is here. What's up, Mike? We got Raphael here. We have who else? Who else is here? We got Fleeting Negligence is here. Haynes Pro. It's just Alfie's here. Brian Ho. I said Brian already. Bro Channels is here. CJ Bay is here. Commander is here. Dolphin Airlines. Nice to see you guys. Today we're gonna play some Muscat. And we're gonna go over like the scheduling feature, the scheduling manager. If you guys don't know, World Airports 3.3 released the new scheduling feature, which is pretty interesting, but a lot of people are having a hard time understanding like when and how they can use it. So I want to go over like some of the ways that I've been using it and just kind of, you know, give some of my thoughts, my opinions, and also see how you guys have been using it and kind of, you know, learn from each other that way. But I recently, I think I uninstalled and reinstalled World of Airports, so I got rid of all of my hearted planes. So I'm going in here to heart all the planes because that's super important for me, at least. I want to get the like certain planes landed first. I like to get the Concordes landed first because there's a possibility we can get them handled again. And then I like to also get the planes that are like close to completion. But I don't think we're going to be close to completion on any of my planes at Muscat because we haven't really played too much Muscat since we unlocked it. We've been playing, so there's so many airports to play. We have CNN, we have LHR, we have Sydney, we have Prague, we have Muscat, so many different airports, and it's like so many choices. But yeah, one of the things we're gonna do, let me see here. Ultra said, why no LHR? I gotta wait 2 months to finish one connection with 2 handlings left. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. That's what, you can always cancel it, man. You can always cancel it. It feels bad. I know. I'm sorry, man. I know who you are, Flammy. I'm gonna just say your username though, because everybody else will get confused. Oh, Voitando's at Comic-Con. Nice. That's pretty cool. What's up, Cake? Air Sweetprom has a question. It says, should I unlock the MD-11 passenger or freight? You have 30 gold planes. You'll get more soon. Nagoya premium pass is unlocked too. I haven't really played too much with those 2 planes. I mean, I would see. What I would do. Here's. Let me lower my brightness here. Yeah. Here. What I would tell you to do. What I would do is I would look at the airports that you play and see where that cargo plane can go. Because if that cargo plane can go to like all the other player airports, then that might be a good idea for you to unlock the cargo plane. But for the most part, like in general, it's more useful to just go for the passenger plane because you could use it at more airports. You know, not all airports have actually, I think all of them do have a D cargo slot. So hey, I don't know. All right, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna first we're gonna go with the scheduling manager. My favorite way to use the scheduling manager is by assigning plane stands, right? So when you select the plane and you don't have the tower managers on, which I'm gonna turn the tower managers on soon, but my favorite way is to select the stand, hit this little button here, and add the schedule. Now, what this will do, and this is why it's so important, like this is why I love using it, is that it'll add this plane to be one of the planes that is scheduled to land at this stand. This is super important for like these bigger planes like the A225 especially, because it'll prioritize any plane that's waiting for landing. It'll prioritize this plane or any plane scheduled on this stand before any other plane waiting for landing, whether it's hearted or not. So we're gonna go ahead and confirm this plane for landing, but then I can't schedule this one right away because the stand is occupied. So that's where going into the scheduling manager will help you. You go into the scheduling manager, and you especially want to do this with those big planes and maybe even your special planes. But you go into scheduling manager. I filtered for G plane. There's only one G plane in the game right now, and I think in the world, right? But there's only one G plane, and then you got to go ahead and find that cargo stand. Instead of scrolling, I could always just collapse, the terminal number here. So we have the stand right there. We click on the plane, we click on the plus icon, and it's going to add that plane to the schedule. So that way, if I have the delivery manager turned on, the delivery manager will prioritize the other A225 to land first at that stand. So that is super important, especially when it comes to like the G plane. We also have some cargo, some Concordes here. So with the Concordes, it's the same scenario. I'm going to, I want certain Concordes. I want Concordes to land first to get priority on my airports. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of plan it out, right? Now, I like to use the 2D map so I can kind of get an idea of where everything is looking. So I want to use both sides of the runway, right? And at Muscat, because at Muscat Airport, you have planes landing at this runway and you have planes landing at this runway as well. Now, the planes that land on the bottom runway here are the planes that are parked over here, right? And all the other planes land at the top runway. So in general, I want to assign like a few more planes to the bottom here than I do at the top. So we're going to do France, Japan. Concorde is going to be scheduled to land at one of these stands. We're going to do Shrek at one of these stands over here. Oops. This stand right here. We're going to add it to schedule. And what this will do, it makes it so much easier because next time we play this airport, those planes, when I turn on the delivery manager, will automatically be assigned to those stands. So that's going to be super helpful because then I won't have to assign them. But even if I do assign them, or even if I don't use the delivery manager, when you select the plane, it's going to automatically kind of take you to that stand. If we go to another airport, I could probably show you how that looks because we have a few airports unlocked already. We have CNN unlocked, which I'm thinking about going to. Oh, I don't have this stand fully unlocked, it looks like. Whoops. Alright, we're going to land Flamingos planes. I'm going to add them to schedule. So, typically I want to have the approach manager on, so we'll turn the approach manager on. And when I do the approach manager, I like to prefer the favorited airplanes. Nothing really changes with the approach manager. The approach manager will always, if you have none of these options turned on, the approach manager will have planes land in the order that they were assigned. So if none of these are on, planes land in the order they were assigned. If this is on, then planes will land in the order they were assigned, but favorited airplanes will go first. So if I assigned a non-favorite airplanes within all those assignments I just did, the favorited airplanes would go first in the order that I assigned them in, and then the non-favorited airplanes would go next. And then arrival sequence. This changes the way the entire approach manager works. So if I have this on, if I have this arrival sequence on, then it'll land planes in the arrival sequence that I have here. So G planes will land first, followed by F, E, D, C, B, A, right? You can change whatever order you want. I sometimes do that on the fly. Like if I'm at St. Martin, sometimes I'll just kind of bring B to the top, so that way I can have some B planes landing because I'm kind of don't have enough handling crew or something. Now, if you have prefer favorite airplanes on, by the way, nothing changed here, right? So this is all the same. I'm just explaining it. Favorited airplanes will still land. Will land first, but in this order: G planes first, then F, and so on. So. That is that tower manager. I didn't even turn them on. I didn't even turn it on. So we're going to activate it. That way those planes can automatically land. We're going to keep looking at my stands here. And we're going to just fill out my schedule for the remaining Concordes waiting to land. So we're going to go ahead and just add these Concordes to schedule. So that way we can... Oh, I got a plane over there. Good. All right, awesome. Awesome. Now we're back to regular camera here. Mike said, technically the A225 does not exist IRL right now. Yeah, a moment of silence, please, right? Sad. It's sad. Oh, I forgot to take the event plane. And we got all these requests here. We got Dolphin Airlines with the S plane contract. Thank you for that. And it only took me 3 minutes to notice. That's not too bad. Junior wants me to show the Easter egg. All right, we could show that later. That's no problem. Jinju has a question about the A35K or the 77 or 777W, the 77W. Between those two planes, which one should you get, I think is your question. And I mean, they're both pretty solid, right? The A35K is going to get you like longer range, so you can get much more distance. It can go from IAD to Sydney, for example. Whereas like the 77W cannot, but I think the 77W is going to make you more money. Doesn't really make too much of a big difference though. Darius Pilot stepping away. We got Wendy Sanchez. What's up? By the way, should I play Leipzig, LHR, Muscat, Nagoya, or Prague? I would probably say play the one that you're closest to unlocking the next airport. So if you got LHR, Muscat, Nagoya, or Prague, I would play one of, I mean, all those are great options because it sounds like you don't have the following airport. LHR is like a great airport for me, at least, when I was trying to get silver planes, because I just had so many contracts coming in, because there's so many stands, you can have a natural, like a large amount of contracts in there. Muscat is pretty cool too, but especially with CNN now in the game, you have some planes you could send. You could send your B planes to some players, so that's pretty cool. But CNN also is very limited in size, so there's probably not too many players. And oh yeah, another thing with CNN is it's not unlocked through any airport. You have to buy it with gold planes, so maybe not everybody's going to have access to it, right? So that's another thing. All right, let's see what else you guys are asking. Wendy said we need more A planes. Hopefully we get a few more airports that are like kind of close to each other, where A planes would work perfectly for. Until then, I'm cool with where we're at. I don't even have the A plane unlocked, to be fair. All right, we're gonna assign this plane. Do I have my airplanes? Ooh, I do have an airplane. We have an A21NY. Who's this going to? It's the Sammy. Nice. I don't need to heart my plane. I want to, but I don't need to. So we're going to assign my plane to that stand. How do you have a mouse cursor? I'm playing on an iPad. And if you play on an iPad with a mouse, right now, sometimes I use a Swiftpoint mouse. But today I'm just using the iPad Magic Keyboard. So if you play with the Magic Keyboard, the mouse... or any mouse on your iPad, it has a little mouse icon as of iOS 26. Before it used to just be like a little circle, but now it's a nice little mouse icon. Can I send you contracts? Yeah, everybody's welcome to send me contracts to my main account. My main account is the Phat Rican, THEPHATRICAN. On my main account, I accept from everybody. I play LHR, BKK, IAD. Those are the 3 airports I play daily. I play a lot of the other airports too, just maybe not daily. And even sometimes with those 3 airports, I have so many contracts that even though I'm playing daily, I try my best to make sure I'm handling everybody's planes, you know. But anyways, you can feel free to send me there. If you want to send it to my stream only account, you have to go on Twitch and do a redemption for something for an M plane contract if you have like a C plane, or you know, an S plane contract if you have a B or an A plane that you want to send my way. Yo, what's up, Flamingo? Nice to see you. Oh Oh yeah, thank you, Mike, for that reminder. If you send a Concorde to my stream account, though, you do not have to do a redemption. We have a special Concorde, an A225, an A124, and I don't know about the DH64. I don't know what we decided on, but I don't think the DH64 is free. But for all you guys with a Concorde, an A225, or an A125, and you want to send it to my stream account, you can just send it, and I'll accept it. We do it for those planes because those planes are kind of special, and like the Concorde, for example, the Concorde has a faster travel time, so that makes it so we have a possibility of handling this plane multiple times on stream, especially if that person's playing. Like Muscat to BKK is an hour round trip, so if I'm in this airport for 2.5 hours, which is kind of possible. We have 82 contracts. Actually, I think that would take us like an hour and a half. But I don't have a ton of stands, so it might take us a while. But anyways, if we play this airport for 2.5 hours, I can handle this plane twice if Mert is playing as well. So pretty cool. That's why we do that, because I don't play this account every single day. I play this account only on stream, and right now I only stream once a week, which is Saturday. And I had a lot of travel in this past month of October, so that kind of slowed me down on my account. Like Ultra was saying earlier in the chat, you know, he hasn't seen his plane in 2 months because one, I've been traveling this month, and two, I played different airports as well. So I finished my first A124 right over there from Cheshire Orange. A124 also gets hearted. Great. Flamingo uses the ProPoint mouse I recommended every day at work. Nice. I love the ProPoint mouse, especially when I'm traveling. Like having it with my laptop is really solid. If you guys do !Swiftpoint in chat, you could get a discount link or discount code from Phat Airlines, and your purchase also helps support the channel. So it's an affiliate link, but it's a really cool mouse. They have also a gaming mouse, which I have. Like they have extra buttons on this mouse. My wife gets confused by the gaming mouse, but like if you play video games, it's great to have, you know, some of your functions like at fingertips instead of having to like move your other finger away from WASD, you know, from the arrow keys. Yo, happy November 1st. That's awesome. Congrats on November. I can't believe it's November, man. Let's push back. We got this one to take off. All right. How are we looking over here? Looking good. Nope, not too many planes waiting to take off. It is a dark day at Muscat. That's because funny day here in New Jersey. Have I ever played UATC? Yeah. So UATC was the game that kind of brought me to World of Airports. You know, I started playing UATC, and I had a lot of fun with it, but I wanted something more. So I kept downloading a bunch of different games from the App Store, including World of Airports and like tiny planes and a bunch of other simulator games. For me, I'm not a big fan of like the simulator games. I get bored of them really quickly. But then I downloaded World of Airports, and I was confused at first. I really didn't understand exactly how you were meant to play World of Airports, so I kind of I was confused. I didn't understand it, and it was a lot different than it is now too. So yeah, what I ended up doing was I ended up joining like the World of Airports Discord, and there were a bunch of people in that Discord that like helped me understand the game. And then as I like became part of the community, I ended up like I found out that like a lot of other people were asking the same questions, right? The same questions I was asking, or the same questions over and over again. But it's not like malicious. They weren't spamming. It's just that a lot of people didn't understand. And I just really enjoyed playing World of Airports. I would be playing it like, you know, during work, you know, during dinner, while I was on vacation at the beach, I would be playing World of Airports. Yo, Mercurial Justice, what's up, bro? Thank you for how many months? 6 months. Appreciate that, man. But yeah, I really loved World of Airports. I was playing it everywhere I went, and you know, it was always one of my goals to be like a have a YouTube channel, to like do some streaming, and I kind of like thought to myself, why not do it for World of Airports? And then I saw World of Airports, they had like a video with like over 1 million views. So I was like, okay, or I think it was over 250,000 views. I was like, okay, that sounds like there's a little bit, at least an audience, people who are watching it on YouTube. And a lot of you guys, well, not you guys, but a lot of people had, you know, needed help with the game. So I was like, all right. And there was nobody creating content about like tutorials, at least the kind of content that I would watch. There was some like text-based videos, which I think, you know, there's a few creators out there who like don't use voice and don't use video, like a webcam or something. But for me, I prefer having like a, if I'm gonna watch a video, I want to hear it too, you know. So I don't want to only just watch it. So I pretty much made the content that I wanted to see. But yeah, UATC was what started me with these kind of games, and then I kind of got bored of it, and then I found World of Airports, and I never looked back. Never looked back. All right, do we land all the Concordes? No, we have 1 Concorde left. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna schedule this Concorde to this stand. That way, when I turn on the delivery manager, that Concorde is automatically assigned there. How to make my airport crowded? Yeah, so I mean, the scheduling manager could help with that, right? Because if you have larger planes scheduled to land first on, or scheduled for your stand, it's also going to be scheduled, like put on that stand first, right? Another thing too is you can change the delivery manager, so that way you can change the stand preference, so that way the larger planes can land first. But what I like to do is I like to run the game. I keep my iPad plugged in. I turn on the game, and I turn on the tower managers. I turn on the approach manager, and I turn on the delivery manager. Sometimes I turn on the other two as well. You don't have to do it, but I turn on those 2 managers, and then I step away for like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm sure there's a lot of things you can do in 15 to 20 minutes. You know, maybe start cooking some dinner. You know, maybe go touch some grass. Nah, don't do that. Maybe, you know, talk to your family. You know, call your grandma. A lot of things you can do, and in 15 minutes. But let the game kind of just automatically land those planes, and then when you come back, you're gonna have a lot more planes on the ground. So that's one way to kind of get a crowded airport, and that's probably the best way, because it's like kind of automatic. The only thing you have to remember is to keep your phone plugged in. If you don't plug in your phone, your battery's gonna die, and then you don't get any planes because your phone's not on. But that's what a lot of people do, and that's probably what I would recommend. Now, once like we're supposed to get like a runway maintenance feature or something, so that strategy might change in the future. But for now, that's a pretty solid strategy that a lot of people use, and it kind of works out nicely, because then your only issue is handling crew. Once you have a lot of planes on the ground, though, the timers for those planes don't start until you start handling the plane, so you can keep them at their stand. Like this plane right here, I'm in no rush to start handling this plane because there's no timer going down. So you can have all the planes on the ground for as long as you want, and it doesn't really slow you down. The only thing that will slow you down is once you start handling it and you don't have enough crew or enough equipment. So let the tower managers run for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, come back after 15, see if it's full enough for you, and then go in there and start playing with a fuller airport. What's up? I like planes. Says if you check the premium pass, theoretically I think you can buy an airport with golden planes and pay back with silver planes. I'm not sure if this is true for all of them. Well, I know that's true for CNN, which is the new generic airport. You know, with 3.3.0, World Airports also released our first generic airport, and that generic airport is like a it's not like a true form airport like, you know, we're so used to with all the other airports. But hold on, did I miss some contracts? I did. Oopsies. Strategizing. I'm waiting for your... Oh, you did a Phat X-Plane contract. Nice. All right, let's buy an X-Plane too. We need to heart this plane. All right, we're going to buy an X-Plane. But yeah, with CNN is like the first generic airport. And with generic airports, one of the things that they're doing with generic airports is trying out new features with generic airports. So I think it's pretty cool. With CNN, for example, if you go to that airport, the runway direction might change just based on what am I doing? Okay, yeah, CNN, the runway direction might change just based on real life wind direction. So if the airport in real life is using one runway and you load into the game, then that's probably what's going to be used in the game as well. And then you can come back in another day, and when you come back in another day, that the airport runway direction might be different. So yeah, pretty cool. I think it's a feature that they're going to roll out to other airports in the game, but it's going to be quite a process, right? Because they have to code every single direction for not just the existing runway, but then the other runways. So I don't know how soon we can expect that, but the fact of the matter is it's in the game now, right? So it's something that we can probably end up seeing very soon. All right, so Magic Skies, I'm gonna get the A388 over here. It's scheduled to land, so we're gonna get that sent over your way. Sorry about that. I'm a little slow, and I used to have this little program on my computer that would alert me every time we had like these redemptions going on, but I stopped paying for the program. A lot of things I end up paying for when it comes to Phat Airlines, so I was like, I need to reduce my expenses. So yeah, that's where I'm a little bit more delayed than usual. But anyways, thank you. I appreciate it. We bought the A388 for you. That's going to go to IAD. We're going to, I think it's scheduled to land. It's a favorited airplane, so it's right here actually. Yep, it was the next one to land. Welcome back, Darius Pilot. Bash Ahmed says, I believe HKG will be one of the best airports in the game. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun airport for sure. Especially like it's gonna be a larger airport, so I always enjoy larger airports. And then on top of that, it's on the east part of the world, so that's gonna add like a lot more function, like a lot more connections with like BKK, especially. So I'm super hyped for that. All right, let's schedule more planes to land, and we're adding planes to the schedule so that way these planes can go automatically there. Now there could be a little bit more strategy I could put into here when it comes to scheduling these planes. I could you know, just kind of like put all of my planes on one side and all the player planes on another. I've done that in a few airports where I had all of my planes just kind of like closest to the taxiway, so that way I can handle them quicker. I've had it in some other airports where you know, the planes that are further away are probably like the B and C planes instead. So like these slots over here, I'm definitely gonna fill up with B and C B and C planes. So we'll see. We'll keep going. Tanmei says, should I buy the A306F or the 763F? I'm not sure, but I feel like the 763F can go to more player destinations than the A306F, at least from Leipzig. That's what I would go for. I like playing with other players though, so I'm a little biased with that. I'm not talking about profits. I'm all about just, can I send this to more people? And if I can send it to more people, then that's the plane I want to have. So yeah, check this out, right? We have this A225. Now, this might be a bad example because the A225 can only go to one stand, but once you select it, right, you select the plane, it automatically took me to stand 903, where if we were to do that for any other plane, it wouldn't automatically take me to a stand because it's not scheduled. But this A225 is scheduled, so it's going to automatically take me there. Now, because I don't have the delivery manager on, I still have to manually confirm it to that stand. But if you had the delivery manager on, the next plane that would be scheduled for this stand is this A225. It's not going to be the 748F. It's not going to be any of the other cargo planes we have waiting to land. It's going to be the A225F, and not because it's favorited, but because it's scheduled. So that's a really cool part of that feature. Don't forget also with the scheduling feature, we also got the capability of disabling stand sizes, right? So you can click on a stand that's not occupied. Now, a stand is occupied once a plane is assigned to it. So you see stand 301, this stand is occupied because we just assigned a plane to it. But 201 is not occupied, even so that's when you can disable stand sizes. So you hit the edit button and this pop-up's going to appear. You can click on the stand and it turns red, which means it's closed. You can confirm, and now that stand is closed. You have to purchase the stand in order to do it, and you purchase it out here, and you can buy it for 4,000 or 10,000. But yeah, that's another cool feature of the scheduling manager that the scheduling manager brought in. So just keep that in mind. Oh my gosh, what happened to my typing? All right, Magis guys, I sent you oh, thank you for accepting that quickly, bro. But I love these A388s because they give me like, well, this one's it's only 7,000, but usually I'm expecting like 12 to like 15. So thanks for the redemption, man. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna line up some of these planes. Let's see other planes ready for pushback and takeoff. Pushback, takeoff. Oop. Oh snap, I'm 10 minutes behind in chat, guys. I'm gonna try to catch up, okay? Wendy Sanchez said another cargo airport would be nice. I think when we'll see another cargo airport, but I think when we see it, it'll be when it'll be around like a cargo revamp. I think cargo revamp is in the future. I'm not it was in the plans. I'm not sure if that's still the plan or not, but I don't know why it wouldn't be. Anyways, I think a cargo rework is in the future, and what that means is probably gonna see a lot more functionality coming out of cargo planes. Like right now, I wish we could adjust the cargo capacity so we can like increase some more range, which is not possible right now. I wish we could do that, but we can't do that right now. So but yeah, when another cargo airport comes out, I believe that's when we can expect, cargo planes to kind of get reworked. Unless the plan has changed, which plans change all the time, right? So we can wait and see. Airport CEOs a finished game. The dev doesn't add more things to the game. It's just gave bug fixes. Yeah, that's I think like finished games is an interesting concept in 2025, right? Like, how do you? I don't know. In 2025, it's really like, I think a lot of the times it's games as a service, right? So what you're doing is you're playing a game, but you kind of expect like continuous updates, not just bug fixes, but like new features. That's another reason why I like World Airports over like UATC and some of the other games, is that we're still getting updates and new content added for World Airports. Whereas like UATC, they'll go like a year and a half and then with no updates, which is like, I guess, fine for people who play that game. But for me, I always like to have something new to do. And even when in World of Airports, when I don't have something new to do, I still am able to play this for a long time. So maybe I'm just a fan of World of Airports. Yeah, HKG is pretty massive. That's right. Hey, were they supposed to add Hong Kong Airport? Well, I don't know what you mean by supposed to, but they said Hong Kong Airport is coming in a future update in a couple months. So I would expect that more in December, not in this update. They were clear that this update, the latest update, was supposed to have CNN, the generic airport, but not necessarily, definitely not Hong Kong. But Hong Kong, we're expecting before the end of the year. Given everything works out as expected. Sometimes things don't work out exactly as expected, especially with game development. Alright, we're going to keep landing planes and adding it to the schedule. But one of the things that I'm doing too is I'm trying to schedule planes that are like closer to like finishing their contract as well. That way they have a dedicated place to land, and that way they could go first. TJ Bay says, I'm still working with scheduling, disabling, and all to get G planes landed at IAD. I mean, one thing you could do too is just, you don't have to necessarily, I've had some success with this. You don't have to disable the two stands next to your cargo plane, your G stand at IAD. You do want to like kind of hold off on turning on Delivery Manager right away. But schedule your A225s or your partner's 225s to land at that G stand. Put it in the schedule manager over here, because if you look at the schedule here and we go to cargo, you'll see the A225 will be here. And what this will mean is the A225 will automatically land first. The delivery manager will assign that plane first. Now, at IAD, just don't schedule any planes to go to the stands next to it, which I think are stands 6 and 8. Don't schedule any planes for those stands, and you'll be pretty solid. And then once you're done handling all your A225s, I have about like 4 going to my Washington. So once I'm done handling those 4, including the ones you get from the past, so I think I have like 5 or 6. But once I'm done handling those, then I can go into this list here and I can just manually assign it. Just because it's scheduled to a stand doesn't mean it's locked to that stand either. So you can, and the delivery manager acts the same way. If there's a stand available, and even if it's not the scheduled stand it's supposed to go to, as long as there's no other plane that's scheduled for that stand at that time, the delivery manager will assign a plane based on its criteria to that next stand. So that's that could mess some people up, but I kind of like it. What's up, mate to move? Can you change runway options in this update? Not in this update, man. But in the airport CNN, the airport, the runway for that airport does get changed based on real life conditions. So it's not something you manually turn on or turn off, but it's supposed to be based off of real life conditions. So if in real life runway 24 is being used, then that's what you should probably expect to be playing in the game as well. And then if you go in there an hour later and a different runway is being used, if you exit your game and go back into the airport, then the other runway should also be in use. Yep, that's about how it should work. But not all the airports. It started with the generic airport CNN. For land, what's up, Aura? Aura said, or how do you say your name? Aurora Go. Alright, for landing and takeoff ratio, 1-to-1 ratio is the best when approach manager is on. Well, it kind of depends, right? It's not something like I don't recommend just setting it and forgetting it for the most part. When you're first starting in if you're first loading into the airport and you have no planes departing, like I am right now, I could do, let me extend this manager, by the way. I can do a 5 to, a 5 to 1 ratio, right? 5 to 1 ratio is no problem. But once this queue over here, if this starts backing up and getting further and further, or this queue over here starts backing up and gets further and further to the point where it's blocking these planes from getting to their stand, then it's time to adjust that. Especially at airport like Prague could get backed up really quickly, and then you might want to you definitely want to go back in here and maybe adjust it so you're at 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, so that way you can clear out those planes. Because if you don't adjust it, you're going to get backed up if you keep it at 1 to 1 100% of the time. And I know it's super tempting to do a 1 to 1 100% of the time. That's what I want to do. But if you want to be super efficient, you got to update it and change it every once in a while. And we reached level 3. Let's go. Or level 9. I can't read, man. What airplane do you think the developers will remodel? Well, all the airplanes are going to get remodeled if they're not already remodeled in the game, right? So the next one is probably, they've already mentioned like the C-17, the cargo plane. So if you don't have the C-17 and you're thinking about getting it, it might be a good plane to unlock, because every time the developers remodel a plane, the price for that plane also goes up, right? So if you're thinking about the C-17, which is a cargo plane that I enjoyed, it was like one of my first cargo planes to unlock. It's only 17 gold planes too, so pretty cheap, especially compared to a lot of the planes out there now. So C-17 is definitely getting a remodel. I know DEL for a long time. Nobody ever promised a DEL, right? Or maybe was that an airport they kind of mentioned once? I think what happened is a lot of plans had to change because of policies, pricing policies, and like back end server costs and things like that. I don't want to go into all those like details, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with a lot of the server costs, and they had to make a decision based on that. But it's not like, usually when it comes to those kind of like decisions, it's not off the table completely. It's just off the table for now, and it could be like, it could be like MSY, New Orleans Airport was supposed to be an airport that was like, it was teased in the beginning of World of Airports as an airport coming soon, and then it just kind of disappeared for a while, right? And then suddenly we got it without notice, without much teaser either. We got that airport. So it could be like they're waiting for other like server efficiencies. They're working on other functions, because like for MSY, for example, they needed to they implemented shared stands, where you can have like one plane at a stand, but then it would block other planes because it's too big, right? Or if you had like smaller planes there, then the big plane can't park there, right? MSY had to have that feature in the game in order for that airport to come out. Or at least that's the way I look at it. That's not confirmed by the devs, but that's the way I look at it. Is like, once that feature came out, it worked perfectly for MSY. There could be other factors, but I'm pretty sure it was like a server cost. What's up, Nishant? Rail Gallery? You're playing World Airports on BlueStacks emulators, but radio sound doesn't work? That's sad. Yeah, I mean, BlueStacks, playing on an emulator is not officially supported by the developers. They don't build the game with like an emulator in mind. But I know a lot of people have success with it, so definitely want the Concordes to take off. Because now in World of Airports, airplanes don't actually show up on the radar until they depart, right? So we have We have Mert's Concorde. I'm at Mert K. Is Concorde. HSQJC. And if we look for his Concorde, which is a departing plane, we have so many Concordes. But if we click through them, not on here. Oh, it's right there. You know why? I took too long. So we're gonna take it off, and it's gonna redo itself. But that means these planes are waiting for a long time, because there's a 7-minute. I think Fleeting Negligence was the one who told me, because he said he calculated the time. But from the time that you push back your plane, and if that plane doesn't take off in 7 minutes, then it'll show up on your radar. But if you're a lot quicker than I am, you can get those planes to show up a lot faster as well by having the departure manager on, which I think I'm going to turn on then, because I'm apparently too slow. So we're going to turn this on, but I'm going to change the ratio to be 2 landings for one arrival for 1 departure, and that way we are good to go. We got another one of my planes ready to land, so we're going to add it to the schedule for this stand as well. Actually, I wonder if I could assign this to a stand at well, actually this is a good stand. We'll sign it there, that's no problem. We got an A35K over there. We're going to go ahead and start handle that. Kamikaze, you sent me a DH64, nice. The World of Airports, what's up, Doogie? Says, is this on PC or just phone? So World of Airports is a mobile game. You can only play it on your phone. I'm playing on an iPad Pro right now. That's what you're seeing me play on right now. But yeah, mobile only game. I know there's a lot of people in the community that wish we could play it on PC, myself included. I wish we had a PC version that we could play. But I'm pretty sure that the developers, their dev kit doesn't support PC gaming. I'm sure if it, well, I'm not sure, but I believe that if their dev kit did allow for PC gaming, then they would explore that option. But people play sometimes with an emulator, but emulators are not officially supported. And then if you have like a MacBook or a Mac Mini or something, any of the newer ones, which is pretty much if you bought one in the last like 5 or 6 years, it has like an M1 chip or M2, 3, 4, 5 as their processor chip. You can natively play iPad and iPhone games on your MacBook, and it's not like playing on an emulator. It's like playing on the app itself, on the phone itself. So it's a nice native way that you can play the game as is intended to be played. What's up, Juan? Juan Daniel says, I still don't understand a scheduling manager. Is it just for fun and organizing planes, or can you use it to maximize efficiency? So I mean, like, one of the things that I'm doing here is look at my schedule, right? So first thing I have here is I have 2 different cargo planes at A225, right? So these cargo planes at these A225s that stand at 903, I have these scheduled for this stand. What this will do is it'll guarantee that if both of these planes are waiting in my queue for landing, that both of these planes will be scheduled to land as the first 2 planes essentially assigned to this stand. Especially if you're using the delivery manager, it's super helpful because the delivery manager will not assign any other plane to this stand as long as these 2 planes are waiting in your queue. If you look at my other stands over here, it'll also, like, we have all these other planes assigned as well. So you can kind of get an idea of like where you're at. So for me, I want to assign the larger planes to like the larger stands. So you'll see on like stand 105, I have the Concorde scheduled there. Stand 203, we have a Concorde and a 77L scheduled there. You can double tap, I think, and you could see the card information. And then on top of that, if you go to the schedule here, you can get an idea of like how much time do you have in between your play sessions. Or theoretically, you know, because a lot of these are player planes. So just because it says I have over here an hour and 4 minutes before this plane comes back to this stand, it also requires the other player, in this case Mert, I'm at Mert K, to handle that plane when it gets to their airport. So yeah, it's really more about, the way I look at it, it's about prioritizing certain planes over others. It's like one of the ways to like really use it. What's lurking? Lurking is when you're you keep the stream on, but you're no longer like, well, actually everybody has like a different interpretation. So like lurking is typically the general meaning of it is that you're no longer like paying attention, but the stream is still on. Some people use lurking as, you know, they're just no longer going to be typing in chat, but they're still here listening and watching. Some people, what they say is when they're lurking is like they're just no longer at their computer, so they're not even listening or watching, but the stream is still on. It's a cool way just to let me know that you're stepping away, or like you're here but you're not here kind of thing. And it helps support, because like, I mean, you see like I don't know where you see, I think it's down below, like how many viewers we have. I think, oh look, we got 26 viewers on Twitch and 17 on, or whoa 36 on YouTube. Nice. I don't typically look during the stream, but I know when people, it helps out the streamer a lot, because what happens is when people are like browsing through Twitch, they typically want to go to somebody who has a lot more viewers than somebody who doesn't. So it's a nice way to kind of support the channel. Plus, I mean, just having more people here is always more fun. Wendy, an A380 flight on top of you? Nice. Glad you're still here. Cody, what's up? Cody says, I literally only use the schedule manager at my GRU and SEL, or all airlines got their own area and stand. That's another thing people do, right? That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. Another thing a lot of people do is they use the tower, the schedule manager to kind of simulate real life operations at the airport, which is pretty interesting. I don't have the knowledge to do anything like that. As far as like what at least the airports that are in the game. Maybe if we did like Newark Airport, that's like the home airport I usually fly out of. Maybe I may be able to do a more real life simulation, but that's pretty cool. What's your opinion on the scheduler? I'm enjoying it. It's a lot easier to use when you're at a new airport versus when you're at an existing airport where you have hundreds of contracts already. When you already have hundreds of contracts, it's kind of tough to like plan everything out. But when you're at a brand new airport, like when I'm using it at CNN, it's really easy. But once the number of contracts that you have starts to like increase, it becomes really hard to use. That's why I'm just like adding to schedule on these stands instead, just based on the planes that I really want to see like prioritized. The way I look at it is I'm essentially assigning these planes a priority over other planes. That's the way I see it. As I use it more though, I think I'm going to use it more strategically as well. But how that's going to be used, it's kind of hard to use it strategically when you're playing with other players, because you can't plan for other players to be playing, right? In general, when other players are playing, it just kind of happens, you know? Like they're playing, okay, their plane comes back. If you're not playing with other players, then you could play a lot more strategically by making sure like every single plane, you can go to your schedule over here and you can kind of tell, okay, I want to have like a 2-hour gap. So that way you can go to another airport for 2 hours, then come back to this airport and you have all of your planes back. We did that, what, 3 weeks ago at CNN, where we handled all the planes, and then we looked at the schedule, and we saw we had one plane that came back in like 5 minutes, right? But then all the other planes didn't return for like an hour and a half. So that made it really clear to me that it's like, okay, this airport, it doesn't make sense for me to stay into this airport because I have an hour and a half before the majority of my planes return. It doesn't make sense to like stay in the airport when you're only handling 1 or 2 planes. If you have other airports to unlock, if you only have the one airport, then yeah, I mean, that's really all you got. But you could get more XP, get more silver planes by going into another airport and handling those planes. So I like this because it tells me what the expected time frame is, but it's not exactly perfect with players, and there's no way for it to be perfect with other players either. So it's not a problem with the scheduling system itself, and it's a problem with other players, but it's not necessarily a problem either. You know, it's just the wrong, I don't know what the better word would be. But I'm enjoying the scheduling system. I like being able to prioritize certain planes, especially with the A225s, man. The A225s, which in a lot of the airports, if you have an A225 schedule, like actually it's only Muscat and IAD are like the 2 airports that can receive it from other players. And there's other airports that have it as well, Leipzig as well, right? So like those 3 airports, you want to prioritize the A225, and then on top of that, you know, there's a leaderboard. So if you look at the leaderboard, you got handled cargo and tons, and if you want to work your way up this leaderboard, you need that G plane to land first because it's going to have the most amount of cargo. And look at here, we got telephone booth with 44 million tons, followed by Freezeman, and this is all time. Let's switch to this week. I only like looking at active players. I don't want to compare myself with somebody who's not playing. We got David Elio. If you're in here, let me know too. I know Flying Pawk, they're number 1 in a lot of different rankings as well. Like I know Andrea MI. I feel like I've seen him. We've seen Crankenwork. Harpep Group is in the forum. Where am I? I know Riceless. Here I am. I'm at 4 million. Yo, this guy, number 1 guy, is 10x me. That's crazy. That's awesome. Good for them. So, yeah, especially if you're working on like that leaderboard or any of the leaderboards, you can kind of prioritize the ones that are larger planes so you can handle more passengers. You can prioritize the larger cargo planes so you can get more cargo and tons. So Schedule Manager is great for that. But yeah, it's really tough to use a scheduler when you already have an established airport. Really, it's a lot harder to use it. But when you're in a new airport, it's really fantastic. Now the tough part too is when we unlock more stands, right? So we have like stand 104, which can go all the way up to F planes. I do wish there was like a way to like, well, actually, let's go to planner. I do wish, like, let's say 104 again. I do wish there was a way for me to like drag and drop instead of having to click and then click. I wish there was like a dragging option for it, but I know this is the first iteration of this, right? So it's like this update. I know World of Airports developers are really just focused on making sure it works. But I do wish there was like a drag and drop option, especially once you start unlocking more stands, because the way you have to like reschedule these planes is you have to remove the flight. The good thing is it does appear on the top of the list, so it's easy to find, but you have to remove the flight and then you have to put it into the right stand. So that does make it a little bit harder to like reschedule flights, especially as you open up more stands. I think a drag and drop would be cooler. Would be cool to see. But Yeah, that's another thing. Bash Ahmed, you handle planes secretly at school. Nice. Juan Daniel says scheduling manager versus favorite planes and prioritization with towers active. I mean, you could use them all at the same time. I mean, that's not a problem either. We're not going to add this to schedule, but do I have more cargo planes? I'm going to answer your question. I'm just looking for more cargo planes. Yeah, we'll go ahead and land that one. All right. So you could always, I mean, so the delivery manager does a good job by himself, right? That's what we've been playing with for years, yeah, with the delivery manager. But what the delivery manager doesn't get right is when you have blocked stands, right? So if you have like if you're in an airport like MSY, IAD, GRU, SCL, those airports, they have blocked stands. So if you have an airplane parked at a stand, it can block other stands from being in use. And that's where the scheduling manager really shines, because if you have a blocked stand, the delivery manager will just keep scheduling planes around that blocked stand. Now, if you have it scheduled, the delivery manager will have that plane that's scheduled to land go first. So that's where it's really, really important to like kind of have them both in use. Because otherwise, like at MSY, for example, and I don't have MSY unlocked on this account, but MSY, you have a bunch of medium stands all over the place, or a bunch of C stands all over the place. But some of those C stands will block your F planes from landing. And if you have a lot of F planes waiting to land, the delivery manager will assign those planes, those C planes, to those C gates if they're open, which will block your F planes from landing. So that's where it becomes a good idea to kind of use the scheduling manager to schedule those planes to the F stand, maybe even disabling those C stands if it's really bad. Like if you don't have enough planes scheduled, then what'll happen is the departure manager will just start assigning the seaplanes there. But yeah, airport like that is where it's super helpful, super useful. What do we look like on this runway? All right, one's taken off. Yep. Alfie, you just bought the IAD premium pass. Nice, congrats. MK Specialist says, I don't have time for mine during my lunch period. I let planes accumulate. The next day I do another airport. And on the weekend, it's all I do and handle, send them out. That's not a bad idea, right? Just use your tower manager during times that you can't play. Use the approach and delivery manager and let them get all the planes on the ground. So that way when you can actually play the game, then you're actually handling planes, Because that's one of the things too, is like if you're going into like Leipzig, for example, or LHR, really any airport, and you don't have a lot of time to play, you're going to spend a lot of time waiting for planes to land. So that's where my number one tip now is, if you can afford it, which means like some silver planes, but I mean, it's not super expensive on silver planes. All you got to do is turn on the delivery manager for 10 minutes and then turn on, which is 35 silver planes. And then you turn on the approach manager for, let's say 30 minutes, which will cost you 75 silver planes. So that's 105 silver planes. You get 200 silver planes for free every single day. You go right here to silver planes, you click the claim button, and you get 100 silver planes, all right? And there's event planes every day too, so that's another 10 silver planes. So use your free silver planes to land some planes. Get them pre-landed, so that way when you can actually play the game, you're spending time handling planes and not spending too much time waiting for planes to land. Now, yes, while you're playing the game, you still want the planes to land, definitely still want those planes to land. You don't want to just ignore, like, stop landing planes. You want to keep that operation flowing, but it's still very, very nice to have, like, be able to get into the action right away instead of having to wait, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes for those planes to get to their gate, and then you got to wait another 15 minutes for that plane to get handled, and then at that point you only handled one plane, you know. Yeah, definitely good strategy. Yeah, keep it running in your backpack during school. I don't know if that's allowed, but you guys know your your schools. That's what I would do, though. I would definitely, like, even at work sometimes, like when I'm in the office, I'll just put my iPad on, I'll plug it in to the outlet, I'll put my screen at the lowest brightness, turn on turn on the managers, the tower managers, and let the planes land. Let the planes land. I'm not playing the game, so, like, nobody can, like, you know, and the brightness is all the way down. I probably should get a privacy screen too, but anyways, just let the planes land, you know. Oh, too late for the departure manager. He already left work. I do want to handle most of these airplanes waiting to land, and I got 215,000 wallers. Thanks to Magic Skies for, you know, requesting a Phat X plane, so I had to spend my gold planes on getting more wallers. But because I have extra wallers now, what I think I want to do is I want to, well, actually, let me see here. We still have planes landing over here, right? Is this a plane that's landing? It is. But I think I need more slots on this side of the runway. So I'm going to go ahead and open an F stand over here and an F stand right here. We're going to open a C stand. We're going to open this entire section right here. Open for business. And that's going to allow me to handle a few, or land a few more planes. I don't have more handling crew because of that, because I already bought the A stand over there. But it does let me land more planes, or schedule more planes for landing, which is going to be helpful. You know, it's all about having planes on the ground. Once you have the planes on the ground, then you can handle them. But if you don't have planes on the ground, you can't handle them. So it's a thing. One of the things I want to do is I do want to, I've been telling people this, and I'm going to keep telling people this, but, like, one of my goals is to, like, visit each of the airports that are in World of Airports and visit them in real life. So I actually been working on, like, a script. I don't know, a script, more like a screenplay. Like, I have a list of all the shots I need to take when I go visit Washington IAD. So that way, when I go to that airport, I can do, like, IRL versus real life. Or sorry, IRL is real life. IRL versus WOA. And that way we can kind of compare, you know, and I want to do that with every single airport in the game. I think that would be really fun. And it's one of my goals. I do love traveling. So, like, for me, if I could do something like that, I would be pretty excited. And IAD is, like, the closest airport to me. So that would probably be the first airport I try to do this mission on, you know? But yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. I'm trying to, you know, do that this year, actually. We'll see if I can actually get it done this year, though. That'd be really cool if I can go there. Yeah, and even though the IAD Premium Pass is 110 gold planes, I mean, every single Premium Pass is worth it just based on the number of handling crew you get. And IAD, if you're at a higher level, you probably have a lot of D, E, and F planes that you're handling. You probably have a lot of cargo planes that you're handling too. So having more handling crew means that you get to play the game faster, right? That's why on my main account, I buy handling crew, because, like, I have over 1,000 contracts at LHR. So if I had to wait, which I still do, actually, I have like 420 handling crew at LHR, and I still have to wait sometimes because I have too many planes on the ground and not enough handling crew. So if you can use 100% of your handling crew 100% of the time, that's ideal. But yeah, the more handling crew you have, the faster the game is. And that allows you to really, get into the next airport and handle more planes, which then also make it easier for you to earn more silver planes too. So it's that's like one of the side effects. Is CNN worth it? I don't know what you mean by worth it, but if you're talking about in pricing terms, like 4 gold planes, in a way, yes. There's no other way to unlock the airport, right? So you only can unlock it using gold planes. So you have to unlock it using gold planes. But also, if you look at the... Oh, I forgot about these contracts. Sorry. But if you look at the premium pass, you essentially... Well, we're going to have to go there. I'm going to go there in a second, because I forget what the exact numbers are. But I think you get 3 gold planes for free, and then you get another 3 gold planes on the premium pass. The premium pass was like 10 gold planes or something. It was kind of cheap. So for a total of 14 gold planes, you get 6 gold planes from leveling up the airport. That's not a bad refund there. But then on top of that, you also get, I think, another 10 gold planes worth in silver planes. You get actually, I think, like 12 gold planes worth in silver planes at CNN. Granted, it's going to take some time, because you're not going to reach max level in one day, but you do get your gold planes back. You get you get silver planes that are equivalent to your gold planes. So in that way, it's worth it if you get both the airport and the premium pass. And that doesn't even include all the other stuff that makes the premium pass worth it by itself, right? So is it worth it? I think so, yeah. But you have to play the airport. If you don't play the airport, then essentially it's going to be a ripoff. But I mean, you could say the same thing for anything in life, right? If you buy something, you never use it, why did you buy it? Well, as a hidden gem, I love roller airports, for real. CNN is just a bigger Innsbruck, but works more improved. You could feel that way. I think a lot of generic airports are going to be that way, by the way. So don't be surprised when we get more generic airports and they're like pretty much exactly the same. That's like the whole point of the generic airport. Now, I'm not a big fan of telling people to unlock airports. So like, I know, yeah, if you're bored, you might want to unlock an airport. That's fine. CNN, the only way you can unlock CNN is by buying it. So that one I recommend you buy. But like unlocking, even though St. Martin SXM is super cheap, it's only 4 gold planes to unlock, you can always get it for free, right? So I'm not a huge fan of telling people to unlock things that you can get for free. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, right? But that's not the advice I'm going to share on the internet. I'm going to share with you guys that, like, use your gold planes on things you can't get for free, right? That's a premium pass, CNN airport, generic airports, liveries for your planes, unlocking airplane models, right? Those are all things you can never get for free by simply playing the game. But you can get St. Martin Airport by playing the game. You play Leipzig and you level up. I forget what level it is, but you level up to like one of those higher levels and you get St. Martin for free. So that's one of the tough parts, but I understand, especially if like you're only at Innsbruck, or you're still at the early airports, it could be a little tough. It could be challenging. And it could get boring. So if you're bored, then you do what's best for you, right? So that way you could keep playing the game. But if you're bored too, think about, why are you bored? Is there something you could do about the way you're playing the game to, make it more fun? Maybe you're playing too much in a day. So yeah. 1 second here. All right. So yeah, I'm just ultimately not a big fan of telling people to buy things that you can get for free. Even in the old world of airports. In the old world of airports, where you had to, you could when you needed, you could buy more, like, I guess, contract slots to a certain destination, or you could just handle planes and you get it for free. That was like another area where I never purchased anything. I just grinded it out. Why is there 2 X-Plane contracts I can use my points on? What's up, ESP Goosey? So the X-Plane contract without the word fat in it is for you to send me a contract and I will accept it. And the one with the fat X-Plane contract, that means I will buy an X-Plane and I'll send it to you. Now keep in mind, this is my stream only account, right? So you're only going to get your plane back or my plane to you maybe once or twice a week. It depends on how often I stream, but also I don't play Muscat every week, right? Now if I'm able to like adjust my stream schedule so I can stream more frequently, then I would love to be able to do that. But right now it might be, you know, a couple weeks before you see your planes back. So just the FYI. I know a lot of people get frustrated about it, but it's what I have to do is I have to play every single airport, because there's no way I'm going to reach level what level do I need to reach here? Jeez. There's no way I'm going to reach level 65 if I don't play Muscat, right? But the same thing, you know, I'm never going to unlock IAD if I never play Prague. So I have to kind of bounce between different airports while using the limited time that I have. And that's kind of like, that's where I get into some of my advice for like newer players or players who are struggling with leveling up. Like, it's better for you to play a little bit every single day than it is to play a lot on one day. That's what I do here. I play a lot on one day, and yeah, we get some progress done. We handle a lot of planes, but the most that I can handle, like the most amount of times I can handle this plane is 1. Maybe with a Concorde, I might be able to handle it 2 or 3 times in a single stream, but the most I can handle it is 1 for most of the planes. And that makes it really tough to level up quickly, because that means it's going to take me 10 weeks before I can finish a player contract. Even with the non-player contracts, it still takes me weeks before I can level those up, right? So if you could play a little bit per day, not everybody plays every single day, so you won't have 100% of the planes returning either. You know, when I play LHR every single day, when I wake up in the morning, I usually have like 300 planes waiting there. But when I skip a day, or you know, I'm not feeling well or something like that, and I go to LHR, then all of a sudden I have 400 or 500 planes. So yeah, not everybody plays every single day, but you know, the more time you spend in between, the more planes you're gonna have to handle. But if you play a little bit every single day, it'll help you level up faster, which also means you're gonna get more silver planes, which helps you get more gold planes for free. I'm still 10 minutes behind in chat. That's so sad. I thought I caught up. Planes landed to the wind. That's why you landed onto the opposite side. Alfie, you got a lot of planes from the IAD Premium Pass. You're going to use them in the Alliance I'm in. Nice. Oh yeah, World of Airports on Android got an update, I think, yesterday. That fixed a lot of like the Android issues people were having with the, you know, airplane textures not loading properly. So if you're on Android and you're having some issues with like textures on airplanes, go ahead and check out your Play Store and run that update. Yo, what's up, David Elio? Nice to see you, man. Darius Pilot, you accidentally unfollowed. Yeah, I saw the follow notification. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy followed already. What level is everyone at CNN? Bro, I haven't even played much CNN. I've been so focused on just handling my planes at my main airports, but I think I need to go back into CNN and like make that feel like a main airport. LHR needs a revamp like IAD and SID. What's wrong with LHR? And I don't know if they would increase the premium pass price. They didn't do that with any of the other airports that they remodeled. Is a premium pass worth getting in Nagoya? I mean, it depends on what how do you define like it being worth it, right? Do you value handling crew? Because like handling crew alone, I mean, if you were to buy 5 more handling crew, it costs you 45 gold planes. If you buy 1 more handling crew, it costs you 10. And then you can only do this every 24 hours, right? So just based on that alone, every single premium pass is worth it. But Nagoya, I think, has a few great planes available at that premium pass. In the beginning, you get a lot of like the smaller planes, but like the larger planes have a lot of cool destinations that they can go to. So I think it's worth it. France Japan said Concorde back on route. Let's go. Let's see. We got arrivals. We got this 77W, which is a brand new contract. And there we go. From France Japan. And this one's at 7 out of 10. So that's good. Some good progress there. Taxi to runway. We might be able to handle it. Every once in a while, I like to do a stream where I handle every single plane that is here at an airport, because then I can almost like, then I know that I've handled every single plane, so like nobody can complain. Well, it makes it harder for people to complain that I haven't handled their plane in months, because it's already been here. Oh, Red Concorde, I know I accepted your plane a while ago, but thank you so much for the Concorde. I appreciate all your Concordes, everybody's Concordes. And these are from Bari. I had some cool call signs. What is that? Idol. And it's ICEA. That's cool. That's funny. But yeah, I like to spend it like every once in a while. I like to do a stream where I just make sure I handle every single plane that's coming in. That way I can just make sure I can feel good about what we're doing here. But I'm still running into handling crew issues. The good thing is, once I start leveling up, I'm going to get a lot more handling crew. I think I bought every single stand available. Let's go to the main view here. I think I bought every single stand available. So it's not like I can buy more handling crew using Wallers. So yeah, every single stand has at least the A purchased. That's all you need in order to like get more contract capacity and more handling crew. You just need the A stand to be purchased. And that's like what I think like 2,000 Wallers, so it's fairly cheap. But after that, then you gotta level up to get more handling crew. And my next step of handling crew is not to level 21, but then I get 10 more handling crew, which is like a whole nother plane I can handle. So that's pretty cool. Yo, Goldthorn Bray, thank you so much for subscribing. You got that update 2 to 3 weeks ago? Nice. I think I saw it on like their story yesterday, but maybe I was delayed. Maybe it was yeah. I've been traveling for a couple of weeks, so maybe it was an old update. Kanmei said 30 gold planes for loads of 30 gold planes for loads of planes is a steal in Nagoya, not gonna lie. That's true. I did also forget that the Nagoya Premium Pass is pretty cheap. It's only 30 gold planes. So it's like, you don't have to buy planes. You don't have to, you get some liveries, I think, for free as well. And it's only 30 gold planes, so I mean, you get Wallers too, but Wallers are exciting in the beginning of an airport, not at the end. Yo, Goosey, you bought your first F contract at St. Martin. Nice. I hope it works out for you. You don't want to have too many F contracts. I recommend you don't have too many F contracts at St. Martin, because that might back you up a little bit. But having a few is really key, because those larger planes give you the most amount of XP, and they give you the most amount of wallers. So with more XP and more wallers, what that'll do, it'll help you level up faster, right? Because then you could buy more stands, you could buy more planes. So all of that is beneficial to you. All right, that's. Brody said, remember for GRU, since the runway are close together in IRL, one runway is landing, one is takeoff due to, as I say, close proximity, but for LHR, both is used for both at any time. I don't know if that's true. I've heard a lot of people here tell me that for the most part, LHR uses one runway for landing and one for departures, except during extremely busy times. That's what I've heard multiple times from other people. That's why LHR operates that way in the game. But yeah, I mean, it would be pretty cool if we could have both runways at LHR for landing and departures, instead of one runway for landing, one for departures. I think that would be really cool. Carlito says, what do you guys think about the new female voice in the game? I don't like it. Gets on my nerves. It sucks. Bring back the original voice. It sounded way better. See, everybody has their own opinions on like all those little things, right? They can change the voice, and then somebody else is gonna love it, somebody else is gonna hate it. I think they use the device native voice that's on your device. And I don't even play with the radio sounds on. I have way too many planes, so I'm clicking between different planes all the time for me to really just like have the voices on, because they'll start talking, then they stop talking because I switched to another plane. In Leipzig, I think the premium pass is worth it. It's already a pain to handle planes there because of shortage of handling crew. Yeah, 100%. And in Leipzig, you also get the A225 and the A124 as well, right? So, and you get the Beluga, but the Beluga can't go to any playable destinations right now. But A124 and A225, they can go to playable destinations. So I think those are really cool planes that like add to your fleet there. DJ Bay says, I haven't even tried the new radio voice. I'll try it now. I usually keep it off though. Is the Bari premium pass worth it? Yeah. I mean, any premium pass that's under 30 or 30 gold planes or less, 100% worth it, because you're getting more than 5 handling crew for each of those. You're also getting, well, under pre-pass, you're getting 3 gold planes, but then you're also getting bonuses in silver planes throughout the premium pass. You're getting a bunch of planes you don't have to buy for in Wallers, and you don't have to unlock in gold planes. Now, granted, those planes that you get are not permanently unlocked for you. You only get one single plane, but having planes in your fleet will help you make more money. So by having more planes in your fleet, those planes that you own yourself make you more money than handling someone else's plane or even a computer plane. So by having that, it's going to help you with leveling up faster. It's going to help you with getting more contracts too, because it's easier to find somebody who will take your plane to their airport than it is to find someone who wants to send you a plane to your airport. Definitely a lot easier for you to send someone a plane than it is to get somebody to send you a plane, especially if like you're newer, a newer player. By sending other players your plane kind of gets your reputation out there, and people start to remember your name. There's 3 arrival runways in IAD IRL. Yeah, and I think there's 3 landing runways in the game as well. But yeah, I'm not an expert on IRL airport operations. So I just rely on what you guys, what a lot of you guys kind of tell me, and I use that. How long does it take to unlock all airports? Wendy says it takes years. I don't think it takes that long. I mean, it depends on how often you play, how much you play. There's a lot of little factors that can go into place. I mean, for me, right, I'm playing this stream only account, and I play once a week. I've been playing this stream only account for years. I think we're like over a year into playing stream only account, and I don't have all the airports unlocked. But I'm only playing once a week for 3 hours a week, you know, for 3 hours. So I would get a lot more progress if I played, you know, even 30 minutes per day instead of 3.5 hours for one day. So that's like the advice that I always share. Like, if you want to like get more get more airports, you gotta play a lot more frequently than I do on this stream account. Oh, we got an E170, nice. The exciting part, I think the E170 can go to CNN, right? Let's see. We go to offers here. We got two E170s. Let's reference destination. Yeah, look at that. Not gonna claim it today though. I'll claim it eventually though. Why did you send me like 5 planes? When did I do that? If there were contracts that we already had, then I always renew my contracts. Unless there's a reason for me not to, which is pretty rare. But I always renew my contracts. So if we had a bunch of contracts that just like finished, then they're all going to renew at the same time. If you had a contract post up on the Phat Airlines contract board, then I would send one. I probably sent one from that, because every once in a while I'll go to my airports and I notice that I have a few airplanes that are configured for certain airports for certain destinations. So I'll just go ahead and send people who have posts on the contract board an airplane that way. Alfie say you could send it to me, Phat. I feel bad if sending that plane to anybody at CNN. Actually, I'm gonna claim one, and we'll do it as the random arrival, because there is a random like one passenger plane arrival that we can send to CNN. So I can do that. Oh, I do have some liveries unlocked. Nice. We're gonna go with this one right here. Yeah, we'll send one as a random arrival. But yeah, I feel bad, man. If I don't know how many contract slots you have at CNN, but for anybody who gets my plane as like a contract, like you're not gonna see that plane for like 3 or 4 weeks. It's like occupying a contract slot. Now I feel less bad for all the other airports, because I feel like people have a lot more options. But like CNN, man, you only got like 12 stands or like 15 stands there, so you don't get a lot of contract capacity right off the bat. I mean, some of us have a lot of silver planes, so you can just buy more contract capacity every 48 hours. But we'll talk about it next time we do a stream. Have a good day, Wendy. Thank you for joining. It was a couple CRJs from LHR to Bari. Oh, nice. I think they were renewals. Oh yeah, and yeah, I definitely had a lot of planes at LHR that had their contracts expired, and like the other player didn't renew the contract. They canceled it. So then I have to assign it to somebody new. So I most likely went to the contract board and saw you there. That's why I always tell people, make a post in the contract board. Don't just post in contract chat. Contract chat is cool because you can like talk to people who are like currently also looking at the same time as you. But the contract board is like more long term. It's a great way. Like you might make a post a week ago, or you might make a post today, and it might take a few days before you start getting some planes. But the way I look at it is, it's not every day people are buying planes, or like me. I'm not buying new planes every single day, but there are some days where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna buy like 20 planes today, and that's when I'll go into the contract board and I look and I see, okay, this person is looking for a plane to Bari. All right, I'm gonna configure this plane to go to Bari, and then I'm gonna send it to them, and then I just keep doing that with all the other planes that are arriving. Alright, we got 6 minutes before the Concorde returns. I definitely want to handle that Concorde. We only have 12 planes waiting to land here. So, and 2 of them are, we got 2 cargo planes here. Cargo planes. So, I want to handle those 3 cargo planes, but this one is not important. No offense, Crank and Wirt. This is just a random player arrival though. So it's not like it's taking up a contract slot, but it's not holding up the other player. It's not keeping their plane. QJ says at CNN you get 52 contract slots at level 35. Okay, that's not terrible, but it's not great either, you know? But that's good to know. Thank you for sharing. Contract chat rolls so fast. Yeah, like I'm not looking at contract chat when I'm like I have a bunch of planes in there. I'm usually using contract chat as a way to like advertise my contract board posts or my giveaways. Like, hey guys, I have a giveaway running right now or something like that. Which reminds me, I do need to start a giveaway soon. It's been a while since we had another Concorde giveaway, so I like to try to do Concorde giveaways like once a week. Yo, what's up, Martin? Add another 10 minutes here. Brody says 789 is my favorite E starter plane. It was my first expensive plane. Nice. Yeah, and it's only 8+1 service. 8+1 workers to service them. Yeah, that's really good actually. No specific player, we're going to send it to CNN. What's the radar look like? We still got only 3 planes returning. We got Kamikazes and DH-64. We got Euroland Airways, their 77W, and France Japan Concorde coming in 3 minutes. Filter to needs attention, requires action. Are we looking at this runway? Is this a departure? It's on final, okay. So yeah, one of the things I got to keep an eye on over here especially is like if since I have 2 cargo planes waiting to land, I can't have this get too backed up, because if this gets too backed up when I have the cargo planes land, they're gonna get blocked and not be able to get to their stand, which is not ideal, not great. Back, take off, off, yep. Like the same way here, right? The 764 is blocking this E170. I can't have it cross the runway until this plane passes, so we'll wait for that plane to pass and then we'll adjust. And I think the Concorde that's coming in for landing, is already scheduled to stand, so we should be able to do something with it pretty quickly. Gonna line up the A333. I'm not too worried about these planes over here because I don't even have those cargo stands. Yeah, I don't have them built out yet, so I'm not having any planes coming this way for parking. But there could be a time where I am focused on that once that gets unlocked. Playing Euro Truck, nice. Right, take off. Line up, taxi to runway. On Discord a tag, I should make a Phat Airlines tag. We did make a Phat tag, but we don't have enough boost on our server to keep it. Sometimes we have enough boost, sometimes we don't. But you guys can boost the server. I think we give people who boost the server, they get VIP access as well. That's another way you can get VIP, and it kind of helps. It helps everybody in a Discord server, which is cool. Where is this Concorde? He's starting. Two minutes till new flight sim drops. Nice. What's the new flight sim? Simple Planes 2 Legacy Flight on Roblox. Oh. You know, I keep getting sponsorship opportunities from Roblox. But the thing is, with the sponsorship opportunity with Roblox, I would need, well, I would get a guaranteed payout just for doing it, which isn't a lot, but then I would get more money, more sponsorship money if people sign up using my link, and then if people level up, I think, using my link, and then if people buy Robux with my using that same account. I know I'm not too confident that everybody, or that too many people would spend real money on Roblox. How do you level up on Roblox? I forget what it's probably not leveling up. I know like Call of Dragons was definitely level up, which is another one that like wanted to sponsor me, but like I don't want to just do it just for the sake of doing it. Like if I do it, I also want to have fun, you know. I can look at my sponsorships opportunities right now. So I got Roblox, which is install the game and play for 15 minutes, then I get money. Then you have to buy 400 Robux package, or 800 or 1700 Robux package, and then I get paid. So Robux is not leveling up. Call of Dragons and this other game, MU Dark Epoch, which I never heard of. I've heard of Call of Dragons. I played that for a little bit. So, you know, maybe I could do one of those two, but with Roblox, knowing that they have Legacy Flight, a new simulator, it might be more related to my channel than Call of Dragons, you know. Oh, I'm gonna do a drop. I need to stop telling these planes to line up. Oh no, I don't. We already have France Japan plane here. Nice. We can keep lining up planes. Alright, I don't think we're gonna have time to handle the last two cargo planes, but at the very least, I'm gonna schedule them for landing. or assign them the stands, so that way they're the first ones to be handled next time we're in Muscat. That's the least I can do. There are a lot of popular flight sims on Roblox. Nice. I have no clue. Alright, let's take a look at this drop on Twitch, guys. Looks like Magic Skies might land. Maybe not. Oh, Flamingo might get the top score. Maybe not. Oh, nice. Dolphins Airline with the 78.34. Love to see it. Love to see it. MCT Airport. Alright, what airport should we play next? You want me to play CNN? Or definitely not LHR. LHR is going to be too large for me to play. Sydney could be, we could play, but I don't know if we would accomplish a lot at Sydney, because we have too many large planes there. It's like, I'm thinking like maybe Innsbruck or Bari or CNN might be good options for us to go, because like I probably got like another 30 minutes to an hour for today's stream. So I think if Voitanda says in, I know, but he's not here. He's not here. We gotta keep him. We gotta string him along until he's here, and then we'll do Innsbruck. Innsbruck might not be bad. I like playing Innsbruck sometimes. Fun airport. Like to just chill at. CNN. Cause like I want to just handle some smaller planes. That way we can like just at least make some progress. You know, that's the important part too. Because like these larger planes, like even this Concorde here is going to take 8 minutes to handle, right? So it's like, I think, oh, this plane to take off, and then we have a cargo plane waiting to land, I think, right? Or is it landed already? It's landed. All right, good. Here's another cargo stand that's open. Yep. We're gonna wait for this one to land. You got a server error on the game today when you tried to change your name. Could you please advise on how to fix the issue? I'm not familiar with that issue. I haven't heard of anybody else getting like a server issue when trying to change their name. I mean, typically most of the steps for most of these issues involve like kind of, if you're on Android, like clearing your game data and reopening it. Other things when it comes to like server issues too, I think about like checking your Wi-Fi, disconnecting your Wi-Fi, turning it back on, maybe turning off your device, turning it back on, or see if you can get a more reliable, stable internet connection, because that could be it. But I don't know exactly how to solve it, because I haven't heard of anybody else sharing that issue and like how they fixed it either. Sorry, bro. Is that red Concorde on your runway? Red Concorde was here, yes. Right over here. We had one of their planes take off, and some cool call signs from Red Concorde too. They had ICEA and which one was it? It was I can't remember it. I don't know why I can't remember it. It was a cool one though. Let's go to E planes. And we'll go to R. That's Idle, yes, Idle. I thought those were cool call signs. That's funny. The cool thing here with this, me handling this Concorde, is that like we got 2 handlings on this Concorde in one stream. So that's pretty exciting for me, because what that means is if we can get 2 handlings on the next time I play Muscat, this contract could be complete, which means I'm going to get 482 silver planes, which is, you know, nice, but it's not going to get me to 10,000. But I'm going to get 122 XP, which is going to be fantastic. That's going to be like 3 levels from one plane. I love those. I love getting like these player contracts completed at those early levels, because man, that XP just adds up so fast. Also, a call sign collector like me. I think you inspired a lot of people, or a lot of people just like doing it. I know a lot of people have seen your call signs, Flamingo, and especially like having cool call signs at Bari is kind of tough. It's expensive. Tough if you're playing through the airport. What we got here? If you guys want me to accept your contract, you do have to buy the contract on Twitch. It's free. It doesn't cost real money, but you have to buy it using points. Otherwise, you could always send it to my main account, the Phat Rican. I think this week I should be able to start playing Phat Airlines again too. I'm starting to like really figure out my schedule again and like get back into the swing of things. So that's good news. This is here. This here. This one's tagging. Okay, cool. You think Red Concorde is a rich player? Maybe. I know. I don't really ask too many details about people's, like, you know, work or anything like that. But I know the expectation with Red Concorde, which is, you know, I think why this account works perfectly to pair up with Red Concorde, because Red Concorde said they're not a daily player, right? They don't play World at Airports every single day. And some people, when you do contracts, you really want to, you know, contract with somebody who plays every single day. But like for this account, Phat Empire, I don't play every day either. I barely play once a week. Well, I do play once a week, but like I don't play every airport once a week, right? So this is like the perfect account for Red Concorde to be contracted with. But yeah, I'm guessing like they can't play every day because of work, but it could be a lot of other reasons too. But that was my first assumption, was work. I know for me, like now that I have to go into the office, I have to go into the office 3 days a week. It does make it a little harder for me to play some World at Airports. But like I said earlier, you know, what I do at work is, depending upon, you know, how busy I am, but I'll turn on my iPad, I'll load up the tower managers, I'll load up LHR or another big airport, and I'll let the tower managers land a bunch of planes. So that way when I go home at night, or if there's some downtime during the day, I can just play some World at Airports. I can handle some planes and, you know, keep the operations in the airport moving. Mike has IHIV at Bari. That's funny. Dash says, does anyone know why you can't look around by using a mouse on Android on WOA? No clue. But I know on my iPad, I do have to click and drag, right? So in order to like move around. I can't zoom, but if you're on a MacBook or a Mac, the Mac does have an option where you can simulate the touchpad as like touching the screen by holding, I think, the option key. So there's an option for that, so you can pinch and like zoom in, but I can't zoom in using the mouse unless I use my finger at the same time. There might be a setting on Android or something, but I don't know exactly what would cause that on Android. I used to be an Android user, but not so much anymore. Alright, once this Concorde is finished and pushed back, then we're going to switch airports. I think we're going to switch to CNN. Actually, I think we're gonna switch to yeah, we're gonna switch to CNN. It's still a new airport. I barely played it. I've played it more during beta testing than I have for its actual release. So I want to play it. Ultra says because WoA isn't supposed to be played with a mouse. Well, that doesn't. It's. I'm able to play with a mouse right now, right? So it sounds like more of a system issue than a WoA issue, right? And if you see the developers playing World of Airports, sometimes they're using a mouse too. So it is possible to play it with a mouse. It's more about why the phone or the device itself isn't letting you do it. So it could be a system thing. What's up, Snowiak? Flamingo said, do you only use one device at the same time or multiple? I have... Well, actually, I think I'm going to get myself an iPad mini. Because, one, I think I have like a free gift from work. And I have like $700 that I could spend. So I'm going to get like an iPad mini and something for my wife too. But like this iPad, let me see if I can show you guys. This iPad Pro, it's kind of big. It's only the 11-inch one. It's not the biggest one, but it doesn't fit into like my little sling bag. It does fit nicely into my backpack, my laptop case, everywhere else. But if I wanted to like carry lightly, it doesn't really fit into like some of my smaller bags that I have. It barely fits into some of my drawstring bags, right? So I want something that's a little bit more portable so I can play World of Airports. But anyways, I play on my iPad Pro, which is the Phat Recon account usually. I play on my iPhone 16 Pro, which is usually my Phat Airlines account. And then I think my iPad mini, I might do a third account, but I probably would put my main account on the iPad mini. When will you go to a smaller airport? Once this Concorde is done. It needs to push back. So we need to wait for it to push back, and then we're gonna be good to go. Because if you do it too early, now we're good to go. But if you do it too early, then you gotta it has to do the whole sequence of boarding completion. So now we're gonna go to CNN Airport, where we got 2 connection requests. I was thinking between CNN or Innsbruck, but it's been a while since we've been CNN. I haven't played too much of it, and I want to see what it looks like. Oh, so this is a different runway than what we were at last time we played CNN, which is cool. Because when we first played CNN, we were playing with this runway being active. So I like this. This is cool. We got a different runway active now. Nice of you for getting something for your wife. Yeah, 100%. Thank you. But I always try to, do something for both of us. You're thinking of getting an iPad mini too? Yeah, iPad mini is just so small, so cool. Oh, we got some player planes coming. We got encouraging sadness. Nice. We need more cleaning services. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like a noob in this airport. So we got a minute on cleaning services, and that would actually put us at like being close to being delayed. So I'm gonna go ahead and purchase the additional cleaning service there. Over here, what do we got? Trufas, generate a local contract and a random arrival. Look, Crankenwork Airways again. We had them in Muscat a couple months ago. All right, so let's take a look at this path that this plane takes. This is cool. And then this plane, took this path right here. So a B plane looks like it takes this the short or the first exit, and then the C plane takes the second exit. I wonder if D planes need to do a circle on the runway, or if they could still take this exit. If anybody knows, let me know. Because I know on this side over here, B and C planes, or sorry, D and C planes exit over here. And B, right? B also exit over here. I don't think there's anywhere else for them to exit. But I prefer this runway over here. Runway 25. When playing CNN. Where is the plane? Oh, all the way over there. Mike also prefers this runway in directions. Departures are faster. Yep. Voitando, you missed the vote, man. You missed the vote. Can you buy the AN225 anywhere to get it for your fleet? No, you can't. But you can get it as a reward in the premium pass at Leipzig Airport. So Leipzig Airport is the only airport where you can have the A225 in your fleet, and that's through the premium pass. So if you have the premium pass, you reach a certain level, then you're gonna you get to get that A225 and A124 as well in your fleet. I do hope I'm rooting for us to be able to unlock it for our own fleets to like use anywhere. I think that would be cool, even if it needs to be expensive like the Concorde. It needs to be not profitable like the Concorde. It needs to be expensive in gold planes and wallers like the Concorde. Just to kind of like, I guess, keep its exclusivity. But yeah, I would love to see that. So the bad thing about like new airports too is like it's slow, right? I could always buy more wallers so I can get more stands. But like if you look here, I only have stand 7, and 1 and 2 came with the airport, right? So, oh, and I have over here stand 11. So I was saying last time is like I'm not gonna unlock stand 6, 5, 4, 3 for a while. Those are probably gonna be the last ones I unlock, or if I do unlock them, it's gonna be A only. But those are gonna be the last ones I unlock because if I have a plane in 4A, it blocks 5 and 6. But alternatively, if I have a plane in 6, it blocks 4A, right? So the way I like to operate is I would want to have more D planes. Like I want to have D planes being handled because D planes are going to be bigger, and therefore they should typically get you more wallers when handling. Not all the time though, but why unlock one of these stands which could be blocked by this stand when I can unlock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which aren't blocked by anything. So I could use them 100% of the time and not just like half of the time. Third account Android. Once World of Airports introduces the account transfer where you can transfer your accounts from iOS to Android, then I would 100% start an Android account. Well, I would say 95% start an Android account. I would want to yeah, hold on. I would want to get an Android tablet that I could also stream from, which I would have to do some research on because I'm not too familiar on what devices I can or can't stream from on Android. It's a lot easier. Oh look, my schedule's broken. Why is that? Oh, because nothing's scheduled? Is that why? I have to exit and come back. But yeah, I would want an Android tablet that allows me to stream from. And sometimes, like, I know Android phones, like a lot of the Android phones I tried to like stream from wouldn't let me share my screen on stream. The way I normally do it, like with my webcam up and everything. So that was a failure for that. We're gonna do Sammy. Here's the land, and that's another thing. A cool thing about this runway direction is that look, the seaplane just taxis over here, and I think the B plane just taxis over here. Whereas when the runway is the other way, the seaplane has to go all the way over here and do a turn around on the runway. So this I 100% prefer playing CNN when the direction is this way. D, take the same exit as C. Thank you, France, Japan. Do you recommend CNN Airport? Yeah, thank you for the question. Let's wait for this plane. I mean, tell this plane to depart, take off, and then you know, I do recommend it. The premium pass is 10 gold planes. The airport itself is 4 gold planes, right? And when you unlock both the airport and the premium pass, that costs you 14 gold planes, right? So over here, you're gonna get a total of 6 gold planes from just leveling up the airport, right? And then you get handling crew, you get free planes, so like all that stuff that adds extra value. But in silver planes, you get I think like 12,000 silver planes total from both the free and premium passes, which means that you can buy like 10 more gold planes. So 6 gold planes that you get directly from the pass, plus 10 you get from silver planes, 10 gold planes you get from converting your silver planes, is equal to 16 gold planes. So you can actually technically profit from buying this airport, right? But the only thing is it's a long-term thing, right? You're not gonna reach max level the first day you play the airport. It's gonna take some time. So you're gonna have to like play the airport. You're gonna have to level it up. It's not gonna happen overnight. But once you do start playing it and you do level up and you get it to max level, you made 2 extra gold planes from getting both the airport and the premium pass. But it's not going to be immediate. So is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. You can own a DH-64 Comet at CNN, but you can't send one there. Nice. Is it because of what's the reason for that that the game gives you? Is it demand or is it like runway length? Why do you need account transfer if you're starting a platform specific account? Because I would want to transfer it back and forth because I wouldn't be traveling with 4 devices. You know, usually when I like if I'm not like at home, I would want to keep it playing on my iPad or keep playing on my iPhone. I wouldn't want to have to bring the Android tablet with me. So I would do, even if it cost me gold planes to do it or money every single time to transfer, I would want the capability to transfer multiple times. That's why I'm like 95% sure I would do it. Because if you don't have the option to transfer multiple times, then I don't know if I'd do it. Plus, I have a few accounts that already are active. Not active, but I have like 5 or 6 accounts on iOS. So I could transfer one of those that already have some progress on there. So I'm not starting from scratch. Yeah, I wish they would introduce like a WOA ID or a WOA login, so that way we could just use our account on any system. I'm with you there, Cody. We need a speed run category for airports like the generic ones. That's funny. Oh, so the DH-64 cannot land at CNN because the runway is too short. That's yeah. It's like at Bari, right? You can't receive a Concorde at Bari, but you can send one from Bari. A bind leaderboard would be nice. 100% agree. Can you restart a free-to-play account? Oh, you're talking. You want me to start a brand new free-to-play account? That might be a good idea actually, because you know my Phat Airlines free-to-play account started in like the 2.0 era. Actually, no, it started in the 1.5 era. So things were a lot different then because you could unlock things using silver planes. Now, you didn't get nearly as many silver planes as you get now, right? It was harder to get silver planes, but you could unlock planes and a lot of things using silver planes only. So a lot of the stuff I have unlocked on my free-to-play account is because I was playing during that time frame. So that might be a good idea to start a new free-to-play account. Same with MSY, yep, with the Concorde, that's true. I don't know why I got a headache right now. It's kind of... I need some water. Yo, what's up? What's up, Mister? Says I'm a newcomer fan. How is your Innsbruck? Um, well, welcome, man. I mean, Innsbruck, we already leveled it up, and we unlocked Bari, and then we leveled up Bari, and we got Prague. This is my stream only account, so I have multiple accounts, and I have my main account where I have all the airports unlocked. I have my free to play account, which I haven't been active on lately because a lot of things happen in my life. And then I have my stream only account where I only play it on stream. So yeah, my Innsbruck, we leveled up there. We got to Bari. We leveled up Bari. We got to Prague. Now we're working through Prague. I also purchased San Diego. So we leveled up San Diego. We got Muscat. We just finished playing Muscat earlier on the stream. We handled all the planes. Well, we handled all but 2 of the player planes that were sent over to me. So that's pretty cool. And now we're at CNN. We also purchased LHR, and we have leveled up LHR to get Sydney. So we're still leveling up Sydney to get the next airport. But we also purchased CNN because that's the only way you could buy this airport or the only way you can unlock the airport is by buying it. So CNN airport, we purchased it, and now we're just playing it because it's been a while since I played it. What else? But yeah, Innsbruck is not bad. I do want to go back there, but because CNN like such a new airport, I kind of wanted to play this a little bit more than I wanted to play Innsbruck. The black and yellow is nice. Yeah, encouraging sadness plane was really cool. Yeah, see, like QJ says, I remember I got unlocked the E190 at Prague in Premium Pass. It wasn't the Premium Pass. There wasn't a Premium Pass at Prague, but yeah, you got something similar, right? What would happen in the past was you would get what would you get? If you handled like 100 E190s, then you got the E190 unlocked for you to use in your fleet for free. Now there's no way to unlock a plane for free in your fleet. There's no way to unlock a plane for free. You have to use gold planes. So like things like that probably make it better for me to start a new free account now, because being a fresh new player now is a lot different than it was 3 years ago. Yeah, you haven't bought CNN yet? Interesting. Why not? Prince Ed Ween. Prince, what's up, man? I miss free liveries and premium passes. I guess the latest, like some of the newer airports haven't really had liveries, huh? That is kind of sad. Alright, so now we're waiting on bus. Okay, we don't need to buy more bus. This was about to get started. Is HKG going to be like CNN? You have to buy it with gold planes, or you get it from maxing out CNN. So HKG is going to be a normal airport. It's not going to be a generic airport. So what that means is we're going to be able to unlock it from playing through SCL. So once you level up SCL, right now I'm max level. So sometimes they add only 1 more level. Sometimes they've added like 3 or 4 more levels. So that way you can unlock the next airport. But either way, they're going to add at least 1 more level to SCL. And when that level gets added, when one of those levels get added and you reach that level, then you will unlock HKG for free. You'll also have the option to buy it, but I'm not a fan of telling people to buy airports that you can get for free. But CNN, you cannot. It's a generic airport, and it's not part of the normal, airport cadence. So with this airport, you have to buy it for gold planes only. Yeah, for airplanes, you used to be able to unlock airplanes without having to buy the airplane. But now you have to do both. You have to unlock your first airplane and be able to buy it with Wallers at the same time. Kind of sad in some ways, because like in some airports, like let's say you're at Bari, right? And you want to unlock the Concorde. So you buy 1,000 gold planes, right? because you know you want to unlock the Concorde and you just got to Bari, but then all of a sudden now you have to also get 1.5 million wallers. That's rough. That's another like 900. How much? How many wallers would that be? That'd be like another 150 gold planes. So it could be a little rough, you know. Whereas like somebody could have it unlock their plane right away and not have to worry about it. Especially like with the news of airplanes getting remodeled, right? With new airplanes getting remodeled, the price gets updated as well. So there's a lot of urgency to like unlock the plane before it gets remodeled, so that way you can be grandfathered in. You already have it unlocked. You don't have to pay the new increased price. But because you have to have the wallers for it, it makes it a little bit harder to unlock planes. Not necessarily on purpose either. You can't remember if you got 789 free or with silver planes way back then. 789 was not available for free, so you had to use silver planes or gold planes in order to unlock it. Definitely was not for free. What's up, Frank Jailer? Thank you for coming in. Newcomer fan. Can I send my A332 to your main account to Muscat from Heathrow? Yeah, my warning to you is Muscat only has 3 cargo stands for those larger planes. For D, E, and F planes, Muscat only has 3 cargo stands. So I don't remember how many cargo planes I have at my Muscat, but anytime there's such a limited amount of slots, it does make it really hard for me to stay at the airport just to wait for 3 planes to be handled. So it might be a little bit longer. You could be better off. I don't know if it could be sent to IAD Washington, but that might be a better airport. And I play IAD every single day, so that also probably would be better for our contract as well. But yeah, you could feel free to send to Muscat, but it would be a little bit harder. I don't play Muscat every single day. I play Muscat like every 3 days. And then on top of that, I don't know how many cargo planes I have as connections, so you might even be more delayed. So just a warning. That's all I'm trying to share here. You're from Taiwan, nice. You came across your channel by chance. You're very interested in it. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, we've been streaming for like what 4 or 5 years. It's always cool to get new people here, especially like people who play World at Airports and enjoy the game or just want to learn a little bit more about the game. And if you have questions, feel free to type them in. I'm more than happy to answer them. Oh, I reached level 4. Let's see what we get at level 4. Level 4, we get some silver planes. Let's go. Not enough to get me to 10,000. Even though I have 8,140 silver planes, I'm not going to buy the 1 gold plane. This is super important because like I want you guys to hear this, because I don't want you guys to spend more than you have to. Always save for the 10 gold planes. Once you start to get like 50,000 silver planes, or maybe even like 40,000 silver planes, then you can like afford to purchase this, and you probably want to. But like if you're like me on this account and I'm struggling to get to 10,000, don't spend your silver planes on 1 gold plane. Save up for the 10. I'm telling you, it's so much better. You're paying 5,000 less silver planes than if you were to pay for them 1 by 1. Cody, you bought the whole 737, 757, and E-Jets family before the remodels. Only one I didn't get is the E190, since I'd rather use the 737 instead. Yeah, that's... But you have to have the wallers to do it, which is a tough part for some people. Darius, you watched for like 2 months into my account? Nice. You didn't have a YouTube account, Discord account, or Twitch account? Well, thanks for creating one, man. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I remember my first time streaming. I was like, man, nobody's gonna be here. It was nerve-wracking a little bit. Here, hold on, let me see something real quick. Got this new webcam, or this new camera right here. You can kind of see my background there, my green screen. That's pretty cool. No, I know you meant. I know what you meant. I know what you said. You weren't saying 2 months ago. You're saying 2 months after I started the channel. I got you, brother. It's good quality. That's good. It is, right? Yeah. I don't even have like. Actually, it's probably better than my webcam. Actually. And a cool thing too is I can actually change the setting here. Hold on. It's a 360 camera, so you can see like 360. We ain't gonna do that though. Keep it at the front. Oh, look at my whole setup. Let's not do that. Will HKG become the largest airport after BKK in Asia? Isn't it one of the largest airports in the world, is what they said? That's what the World Airport developer said. So, yeah, it definitely would be bigger than than BKK. My old arrangement, was it a different room too? Nah, same room, bro. Same room. I haven't changed my room. I'm gonna eventually have to change, like maybe in like 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna have to change my location. I'm probably gonna have to move to the basement. Because, well, I don't know how many years actually. Because I have one son and one daughter, right? So, right now, they both sleep with us in our bedroom. But eventually, they're gonna grow up and want to sleep in someone else, in their own bedroom. So, we're gonna have to, well, once... Yeah, we're gonna have to make this room into like a bedroom for my daughter. Yo, Flamingo, thank you for gifting Frank Jailer a sub. Yo, Frank Jailer, congratulations, man. By the way, since you were gifted a sub, if you join the Phat Airlines Discord and you link your Twitch account to your Discord, you'll automatically gain access to the VIP channels, which also give you access to like a VIP chat, a VIP contract board, and you can start giveaways if you want. That's for anybody who is a member on YouTube, a subscriber on Twitch. You all have that capability. One of the largest in the world, also massive cargo facility. Oh, that makes sense though in Hong Kong. You want a studio in another room, but worried about outside noise in there? Yeah, I mean, with a microphone, you could always set up a noise gate or a compression, or both. I have compression on my mic, so it picks up what I'm saying and it makes it loud automatically. And then I have a noise gate on there as well, so any noise under a certain level, it doesn't pick up. Now, there's probably a lot more things I can do to optimize it, so that way, like for example, you can't hear too much of like the kids playing out in the living room, which is like the room. Once I open this door, it takes me to the living room. But yeah. What do you use to edit your vids? I have a video editor now, but if I have to make my own quick little video, there's a couple things I use. I use Opus Clips, which is like an AI tool, but it finds all the clips that are like recommended for me to use, and then I use Opus Clips built-in editor to edit my short videos, and then I use DaVinci Resolve for any quick videos that I need to create faster than my editor can create. I used to use Adobe Premiere, but like I've really not liked Adobe more and more recently. So I've been using DaVinci Resolve. You like hearing the kids? Nice. HKG has 55 cargo stands and 115 passenger stands. That's nice. That's smaller than LHR technically, based on number of stands alone. I wish more people streamed WoWa or Twitch on Twitch or YouTube. They would definitely have my support. Yeah, it's tough though, right? I mean, any streaming is tough. And I 100% agree. They would have my support too. I would definitely join in it as much as I can. But it's tough because like when it comes to streaming, you have to have a schedule, because if you kind of do it randomly, then it's going to be hard for people to predict. I know people will still show up when I do my random streams, which I appreciate, but I know you guys can count on me being here pretty much every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So that helps a lot with engagement and you guys people being here. And if people aren't showing up, then that makes it even harder to stream, right? Because it's like, who am I streaming to? Nobody. And that's how it is. Like the first 6 months when you're first starting off, you're finding your voice, you're finding who you are, and then on top of that, like sometimes like people don't want to like show their face, which is understandable, but they're not even like they're kind of like typing in chat. I think when you're doing like a streaming, you don't have to use your face, but you want to have like a microphone. Because some people can't always be watching, but they're listening, right? They can always be listening. Think about I think about when I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm not always watching the video, but I'm always listening to it, I'm not looking at, even when I'm watching TV shows or movies, I'm not necessarily always watching what's on the screen, but I'm always listening to it. So I think having a microphone really helps too. But yeah, if you guys if any of you guys are thinking about like streaming and you want some advice or something, I'm open to helping you out. Just reach out on Discord. When you're reaching out on Discord with a DM, don't just say hi. I mean, I appreciate a hi too, but like that's not gonna get me to respond. If you ask me, hey Phat, thank you so much for streaming, whatever. I don't care what you say. But if you say something like, I'm looking to do some streaming myself, I'm struggling with this, and that, then I'm more than willing to help you out and give you some advice. Because, we all have to start somewhere. And the way I look at it too is like the more streamers and more content there is, the better it is for all of us. It's not like you're going to take my audience away from me. As a matter of fact, what ends up happening with a lot of other games and a lot of other streaming people is you build each other up, right? Because then people find you, but they don't even know about me, even though like I'm bigger or whatever. So yeah, would love to see more. Yo, Pang, thank you for the follow. Adobe is expensive, and it's like bloated too. So like both of those things really make me not enjoy it. Why is EST used in New York, but New York is in the West? Because Eastern. Oh, you're laughing about it. When is the selective runways for departure? So when you first load it into CNN Airport is the only airport that has different runways. Based on real life. So when you load into CNN, that's when the runway is determined. So like when CNN first came out and I loaded into this airport, this runway over here, which is what, runway 7, was my active runway. So planes would be landing from left to right. But today, runway 25 is my active runway. So planes are landing from right to left over here, right? So it's all based on real life. When you first load into the airport, it's supposed to use the real life weather and wind in order to determine which stand this plane is going to be going to. Yeah, that's how that works. But only this airport. It's something that like I think we should probably see it in a few more airports in the future. But I know this is how they're starting it off. You know, generic airports is also like a testing ground for like new features. Is what the World of Airport developers said. So that's one of the features, right? The runway. Phat Airlines can't be taking all my money for money. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Who cares if it's in the east of America? Americans do, man. Americans. We're the East Coast. East Coast. East Coast. And by the way, like in America, tomorrow we have daylight savings time. I think it turns off. So like all of our clocks go back an hour. So like even though my stream is still going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. is going to be an hour later. I think a lot of you Europeans had the daylight savings time last weekend, right? Had your clocks change. But if you're not sure when that will be, I think World of Airports has an accurate time for an IAD. But I know in previous years, they've struggled, or the game delayed to update based on daylight savings time. Eventually, the game did have the right time, but I'm not sure if that's the way it works now. See you later, Flamingo. Thank you for the gifted sub today. I appreciate that. Have a great weekend. Yeah, daylight savings time turned off last week in Europe. Yep. So next week, or this, technically tomorrow for us, but like it affects you guys because next week's stream is going to be based on daylight savings time off. So it's still 11 a.m. for me, but some of you guys don't have daylight savings time. Some of you guys are like already went through it. So that's why you just join, that's why you should follow on Twitch and YouTube, because they'll both tell you what time it is in your local time. But you could also join Discord, because Discord will have notifications. The notifications go out pretty much like anywhere from like 30 minutes to like right before I go live. And the Twitch notifications actually go out as soon as I go live, so. "33 seconds. Oh, this only needs 7 seconds. Oh, but baggage can't. Okay, that's not bad. So the reason why I'm not buying fuel here, by the way, talking about some like newbie strategy here, but if you look at this plane over here that's using fuel, it only needs 15 seconds, right? But baggage and the passenger loading, they need to wait for both fuel and cleaning to be done before either of them can get started. So this plane could take 2 minutes for fuel, and I wouldn't be in a hurry to get this one completed because we still need to wait for cleaning to be done. So no reason to buy the fuel service so early when we're still waiting for cleaning anyways before the rest of the plane can be handled. So just like something to keep in mind when you're in a newer airport or a newer player, and you don't have too many wallers. Just because you have that red notification icon doesn't mean you need to buy it right away. You're probably better off buying more stands, because the stands will get you more contracts, more contract capacity, and more handling crew. So, but then as you buy more handling crew or get more handling crew, then you want to handle more planes at once, and then you need more equipment. So it's a balancing act. Cody said, "Good thing daylight savings time is not a thing here." Bro, I'm telling you, every year politicians talk about removing it forever, and they never do it. I mean, that's politicians for you. They always say they're going to do things and they never do it. I do wish like it was just consistent all year round. Is this drop frozen? Like this drop is frozen. Oh no, the drop already finished. Okay. Let's reset the drop. Reset. Go. I mean, it is technically nice that like tonight I'm gonna get an extra hour of sleep, but like that doesn't really matter when you have a dog, like pets or kids, right? Because pets don't look at the clock when you when they wake up. They just know it's time to wake up and it's time for me to use the bathroom, and therefore they're gonna bother you because they think you're sleeping in. And then the same thing with kids. They don't look at the clock either until they're a little bit older. So they're just gonna wake up when their body wakes up, and yeah, not ideal. But hey, I'll make it work. Mike said I won't sleep the extra hour either. Yeah. Don't worry, Darius. You got your refund back. I gave you your refund, bro. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what? It is about time for me to call this a good stream. Frank Jailer, thank you for the follow. Thank you everybody for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. We have a blast every time we stream. We stream every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you're not sure what time 11 a.m. Eastern is, you can go over here to Washington IAD or just click on IAD. And right here it tells you what time it is, and right now for me it's 1:53 p.m. and it is time for me to go. I'm gonna hang out with the family, play some World of Airports on my main account. I'm gonna play it on my free-to-play account as well, and I'll be here next Saturday. I'm also exploring doing a couple streams during the week. During the week my night, it's gonna be night streams. So you guys in Europe, it's gonna be like 3 a.m. or later for you. But all you guys like in Asia or US, it might be a great time for you guys to join. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the support, even the, of course, the subscribers, the gifted subs, the subs, but also you guys following or subscribing on YouTube, and just even being here and joining me, lurking. I really appreciate it. So guys, hope you have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Peace.